the ECW Arena. One of just so many part of tonight's record-breaking turnaway crowd that have shown up to experience the difference tonight at the ECW Arena, and Hack Myers is fired up. This is a Dream Partner Tag Team matchup. On one side of the ring, we have Hack Myers. On the other, Steve Richards. Each man gets to choose his dream partner, the only stipulation being it must be a wrestler who is not already scheduled to wrestle later on this evening on tonight's card. And the fans have gone berserk for the Shaw of ECW, Hack Myers.
221 pounds, Steve Richards.
And Steve Richards is pumped up as well. Everyone in this building has just been electrified. This arena is jam-packed. We've got a Dream Partner Tag Team match in progress in the ring. I'm trapped in a crevice here in the ECW Arena. This is Joey Styles. This is the arena is jam-packed. We had a record-breaking turn-away crowd come out here tonight to experience the difference. They sold my seat. We had to remove the concession tables. Fans are standing. It is literally standing room only. We've got a Dream Partner Tag Team match in the ring. Say what you will about the young, arrogant Steve Richards. He's a man of taste, choosing J.T. Smith as his dream partner, a former ECW television champion.
On the last half, on the left, 278 pounds, the Shaw of Philadelphia, Hack Myers.
And Hack is going to choose his dream partner. We're about to ring the bell and start the matchup. I can see they sold seats to the Eagles Nest. They kicked me out of there. My other broadcast position has about 15 chairs up in there. I didn't get a piece of that action. They sold my seats. I didn't see any money. This arena is jam-packed. It's a very special edition of the ECW. Who's it gonna be? Chad Austin. Hack Myers chooses Chad Austin. Not a popular choice here in the ECW Arena, but Chad Austin is an accomplished wrestler nonetheless, and he's got a bad attitude as well. Hack Myers and Chad Austin versus Steve Richards and J.T. Smith. The battle lines have been drawn for this very special Dream Partner Tag Team match. The Shaw of ECW, Hack Myers, has chosen Chad Austin as his partner. The confident, the cocky Steve Richards has chosen Philadelphia's own J.T. Smith as his partner. And what a very special program of Extreme Championship Wrestling we have lined up for you here tonight. We're going to be taking a very special look at some recent matches here in ECW. The television title will be on the line as Jason defends. We won't tell you against who. It's a surprise. You're not going to want to miss this. In addition, the franchise, Shane Douglas, the ECW World Heavyweight Champion, defends the title against Jim Powers. What?
Because right outside that door, I got a real big tour bus.
A tour bus?
And I want to invite everybody in here to go with me to the Smoky Mountain Show right over the Tailhead.
What?
Come on.
Oh, let me at him. I can take this kid. Go see Smoky Mountain. Let me at him. I'm going to knock his block off.
Smoky, Smoky, Smoky. Come on. You guys coming right?
There we go. ECW, he's royalty. Chad Austin trying to get Hack Myers to go to... Yeah! And Hack Myers is laying into Chad Austin, traitor that he is. Shot, yeah, go, Hack, go! Hacko-Mania is running wild. Well, the bell has rung. Steve Richards wants a piece. Crescent kick. Catches Chad Austin face first. JT Smith, Northern Light suplex with a bridge. 2 and 3. And the dream is over for Chad Austin. Steve Richards, JT Smith, Hack Myers, and Extreme Championship Wrestling. Chad Austin, you want to get on that bus over to Smoky Mountain? You're going to be driving it because it's going to be empty, just like that arena. Take a walk, Austin. Hack Myers whipping in Chad Austin and runs through Chad Austin. Austin has no idea where he is. Let me give you a hint. You're in the ECW arena, and it's too good for you. Hack Myers now ascending to the top turnbuckle. He's not done with Austin. And face first into the mat goes Chad Austin, the traitor, the Benedict Arnold of ECW. Hacko-Mania is running wild, and Chad Austin has just experienced the difference. Extreme. The feeling in this building tonight is nothing short of electric. And recently, Jason, the sexiest TV champion on earth, a man who, quite frankly, I believe has disgraced that title. He won the belt on a fluke. The only reason he has held the title this long is thanks to interference from his wrestlers, namely the Pit Bulls and the Shooter, Dean Malenko. In fact, Commissioner Todd Gordon warned Jason that the Shooter and the Pit Bulls could no longer interfere in any matchups. But Jason continues to push the envelope. Week in and week out, we've seen Jason retain the title against such superstars as JT Smith and Hack Myers, thanks to interference from his hired gun, the Shooter, the man who shows no emotion, the man with ice water in his veins. Well, before this current matchup where Jason was defending that TV title, he made these pre-recorded comments.
Tonight, once again, I, Jason, the sexiest ECW heavyweight television champion on earth, will defend my title. And Shooter, regardless of what that Todd Gordon says, you are accompanying me to the ring tonight, right? See? He always agrees with me.
Malenko, Shooter, I'm going to tell you both for the last time, I've warned you before. We don't have a lot of rules in ECW, but when I put a rule down, it stays. I told you this man's banned from ringside for interference. He's banned. If he's not gone by the time I count to 5, okay? You will no longer have a manager's license. You will no longer have a wrestler's license. You will no longer have a TV belt. 1.
All right, Todd.
2.
3. And Jason grabs the mic at 4. And Todd Gordon tells the shooter, you are out of here.
Get him out. You're going to defend that belt like a man. There you go.
All right, Todd, that's what the sport needs. More commissioners who can make those gutsy decisions. Decisions that make sense. All right, Todd Gordon accompanying the shooter Dean Malenko back to the locker room. But here come the pit bulls. And here comes Todd. Wait a minute.
You wrestlers are in the ring or at ringside. You will defend the belt by yourself, or I will take that belt from your waist and we will put it up tonight. I'm counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go.
Jason has been backed into a corner. Todd Gordon barring all of Jason's wrestlers from ringside and the ring. Jason none too happy with the decision. He's got a few words for Commissioner Todd Gordon. I wouldn't push my luck if I were Jason.
I don't know where you get up that I can my title by myself. As a matter of fact, asking you where you get off. Looking the way you do, you probably never get off in your life.
Wait a minute, you can't talk to the commissioner that way.
But still, I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah, you know why? I want to know who your opponent will be for the TV title. Fine. Whoever it is, bring him out. Bring him out. You want to bring Donnie Allen? Bring Donnie Allen out.
Donnie Allen.
You want to bring Dino Sendoff?
Dino Sendoff?
You want to bring that tall kid, what's his name? Chris Canyon? I'll tell you what. No, I won't bring out Chris Canyon. No, we won't bring out Donnie Allen. No, not Dino Sendoff. Tonight, for the TV title right now, your opponent will be Too Cold Scorpio.
Too Cold Scorpio versus Jason for the TV title. And Jason's got it going alone. Whoop, there it was. Here he goes. And Too Cold Scorpio just runs through Jason and slams the sexiest TV champion on earth. Albeit I have a feeling not for very long if this keeps up. Scorpio chopping away. Scorpio splash in the corner. And Scorpio not letting up at all. Plants Jason on the mat. Backflip splash, nicely executed. 1, 2, and no. Scorpio lets Jason up. Says he wants to finish it with the Scorpio splash. Scorpio with the modified backbreaker places Jason on the mat. And drops the leg from the second turnbuckle. There's the cover. 1, 2, and no. Scorpio lets Jason up again. And with each passing moment, the TV title belt is slipping from the grasp of Jason, the so-called sexiest TV champion on earth. Wait a minute. Referee John Finnegan caught a boot to the jaw and is down. Spinning leg drop, cover. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like public television. 6, 7, 8. Here come the pit bulls, and there they go. As Scorpio hits a plancha. And just quick as a cat gets back in the ring, scoops up Jason again, plants him down. John Finnegan's still a little hazy. There's the Scorpio splash. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, Finnegan, make the count. We've got a new champ. Here's the shooter. The Shooter's in the ring. Dean Malenko and Too Cold Scorpio going toe-to-toe. He's been barred from the ring. Reversal on the Irish whip. Scorpio crescent kick. Catches Malenko right in the shoulder. Jason back to his feet. Here comes Scorpio. Catches Jason right in the mush. 2 and 3. And we have got a new ECW television champion. Too Cold Scorpio took out the pit bulls.
ECW television champion, Too Cold
Scorpio, and what a model TV champion he'll be. Jason tried everything to hold on to that belt. Wait a minute, here comes the Shooter. The Shooter decks Scorpio from behind. He's got the title belt, and Scorpio catches it between the eyes. You know, Todd Gordon has had it with these two. It's gonna cost them some bucks. Neckbreaker by the Shooter. He's trying to take out the new ECW television champion and appears to be doing a pretty damn good job of it as well. Here comes Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons clears the ring, thank heaven. The All-American was here. Go to the replay, Scorpio with the spinning leg drop. Referee wasn't there to make the count. The match should have been over right there. The Pitbulls came down to ringside, only to be on the receiving end of that plancha by Scorpio. He hit the Scorpio splash. Referee John Finnegan was still not able to make the count. Jason was going nowhere. In came the Shooter to save the TV title, or attempt to save the TV title for Jason. The Irish whip was reversed, and the Shooter caught a stiff crescent kick right in the side of his neck. Up went Scorpio, down comes Scorpio, and here comes the TV title around the waist of Too Cold Scorpio. His celebration was short-lived thanks to the Shooter, Dean Malenko, who interjected on Jason's behalf after the matchup. Perfectly executed neckbreaker, and Jason must say goodbye to the TV title, but the Shooter promises to bring it back.
Days, months, and years for the glory that I felt as the ECW heavyweight television champion, and you took it away from me. You stormed in that ring and you just took it away from me. And I'm at a point right now where, Too Cold Scorpio, I'm gonna make you a promise. One way or another, I'm gonna get that title back. It belongs to me. It's just not the same without it. And Shooter, you're gonna make sure that what I promise now to Too Cold Scorpio will be done. Yes. Yes.
Is it just me, or is it getting louder in here as the evening goes on? I can barely hear myself speak. I hope you can, because right now we're going to take you back to a recent matchup in which the franchise Shane Douglas, the ECW World Heavyweight Champion, defended that title belt against Jimmy Powers, who has scored some major upsets as of late. This was an outstanding matchup. The franchise Shane Douglas and Jim Powers for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. Before this matchup gets underway and the franchise puts the title on the line against Jim Powers, let's get some pre-recorded comments from the All-American, Ron Simmons.
I've told you people, and I've told Shane Douglas, I've told everyone, hey, I'm not here just to come in here and wrestle. Hey, I am going straight to the top because I've been there. I know what it feels like, man, to put that belt around your waist. I know what you feel like now. You feel like $1 million. You go home, you polished it. Hey, I went through the same thing. You know why? Because it feels good, man. And I want that feeling back. That belt means more to everybody here than their mothers themselves. You hear me? Because that's what wrestling is about. To be the man. You're the man now. I want to be the man here. I am going to be the man here. That belt, brother, is wrestling, okay? You're the man, the world's heavyweight champion, all right? Can't nobody deny it because you got the belt. But I am going to get that feeling again, man. That feeling takes second to none, including women. That feeling takes second to none. And I want that feeling back. And the only way to get it is to go through you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Ron Simmons is a former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and he's very proud of that fact. But even the All-American knows where the future of wrestling lies. Cover 2. Powers kicks out at 2. And Ron Simmons wants to be where the franchise is right now. He wants to be the World Heavyweight Champion, the Extreme World Heavyweight Champion. Perfectly executed vertical suplex by the franchise. Perhaps the most controversial athlete in the sport today, and with good reason. There's nobody better. Douglas went to the top and paid for it as Jim Powers was playing possum. And that's not a position I'd like to be in. Nicely executed atomic drop by Jim Powers, who would love to be the ECW World Heavyweight Champion. Reverse atomic drop. Clothesline from the right side. 1, 2, and 2.5. Half a count away from crowning a new World Heavyweight Champion in Jim Powers. The franchise whipped in. And floored again. 1, 2, and no. 2.5. Douglas whipped in once again. Jim Powers goes downstairs. Nice knee lift. Cover again. 1, 2, and... Seemed like a moment of indecision there for Jim Powers. You can't give the franchise a second to think. He'll beat you in that second. Reversal on the Irish whip. Powers going for a backslide. He's got it. 1, 2, and no. The franchise at 2 7/8. Powers could be going for a neck breaker. DDT. Jim Powers hits the DDT. And we may have a new World Heavyweight Champion. Cover hooks the leg. 2 and no. The franchise kicks out again. Well, it's been all Jim Powers for the last 2 minutes. He's hit the franchise with everything in his arsenal. Nothing can put the franchise away. Douglas, nice uppercut. Douglas saying that is all. Wait a minute, Powers goes behind and gets close on the top turnbuckle. 1, 2, and 3. The franchise, handful of tights for insurance. He retains the World Heavyweight Championship.
ECW World Heavyweight Champion, the franchise, Shane Douglas.
I've known you for a long, long time, and you're a fantastic athlete, not an entertainer like Flair. They paid me a lot of money to come to a like Red. You earned your paycheck tonight, but don't be afraid, Jimmy Powers, to tell your daughter one day that you lost to the hands of the greatest wrestler in the world today.
a program it's been so far. We've seen the TV Championship change hands. We saw the franchise defend the World Heavyweight Championship, which leaves only the tag team titles. We know they changed hands as well at the November to Remember, when the Public Enemy Flyboy Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge defeated Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck in their matchup, the Brawl Game. Let's go back to last week's program, the November to Remember, to see the Public Enemy regain their belts. The match was extreme from the onset, as both teams had developed a strong hatred, to say the least, for one another. Cactus and Mikey used some very innovative offense to try to retain the tag team titles, defending against former champions Flyboy Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge of the Public Enemy. Even Mikey attempted to take it to the extreme, but was cut off by Rock and Grunge, who pulled, yes, even the old favorites here at ECW out of the hat before Johnny Grunge tore a page out of the book of Cactus Jack and took the native of New Mexico to the outside. Cactus was temporarily blinded by the bloody Johnny Grunge and a handful of what appeared to be talcum powder. At that point, it appeared the Public Enemy had the upper hand, but Mikey Whipwreck, to the surprise of the jam-packed crowd in the ECW arena, unloaded on both Flyboy Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge before being DDT'd by his own partner, who could not see.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That faux pas proved to be very costly, to say the least,
6,
as Mikey was counted out.
7,
The count of 10 came down, and the Public Enemy at that point had earned the right to use the baseball bat, and it was legal. This match would now continue to a pinfall finish, and to the victors would go the ECW Tag Team title belts. Flyboy Rocco Rock had Mikey Whipwreck in a prone position, set up on not one but two tables, and was going to steal Sabu's thunder, going to put Mikey through two tables, before the death-defying Maniac himself came out, followed by 911 and Paulie Dangerously, to confront the Hoodie. With his attention diverted, Mikey Whipwreck escaped the two tables, but Flyboy Rocco Rock did not, thanks to Sabu. Sabu and company left a lasting impression on Rocco Rock. Meanwhile, the match continued in the ring as Johnny Grunge and Mikey Whipwreck exchanged near pinfalls, until the bloodied Hoodie landed the clothesline that pretty much took young Mikey out of his boots. And with the prone Whipwreck lying on the mat, Johnny Grunge, wielding the aluminum baseball bat, ascended to the top turnbuckle. As Mikey staggered back to his feet and looked up, he was met with that bat right between the eyes. The pinfall was academic. The two Hoodies had put their money where their mouth was. They said they would regain the belts. They did it in the Brawl Game at the November to Remember. The Public Enemy proving to be too much for Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck in the Brawl Game. Mikey taking a baseball bat right between the eyes, knocking him cold. Losing the matchup for Cactus and Mikey, the Public Enemy regained the belts, but there should be no disgrace on the part of Mikey Whipwreck. He held his own since he was dragged into this entire matchup, but it was apparent after the match that Mikey was in no shape to compete in the rematch with Cactus Jack against the Public Enemy here tonight. Mikey was given the responsibility of choosing a new tag team partner for Cactus Jack, and did he ever? And next week, we'll bring you the matchup, the Public Enemy defending the ECW Tag Team titles against Cactus Jack and Kevin Sullivan.
It's damn near tangible already. The winds of change in the industry known as professional wrestling are already in the air. You see, it wasn't that long ago that Paul E. Dangerously managed men like Ravishing Rick Rude, like the original Midnight Express, like Austin Idol and Tommy Rich, like Stunning Steve Austin, like Arn Anderson and Bob Eaton, and all the while I would always point to men like the Malenko brothers. And I'd say that's the type of athlete that I would pay my hard-earned money to see. That's the type of man that was always welcome in whatever form of the Dangerous Alliance we had going at that time. But you see, I have a whole different vision for the future of professional wrestling now. And that vision is embodied in the form of Sabu and the Tasmaniac. Two totally different creatures with the very same mindset. Victory at all costs, giving you your money's worth, and establishing the fact that nowhere on the face of the planet does either man have a peer. There are no equals to Sabu and or Taz. Now, if you go to Jason, he'll say, "Oh, how'd you like my suit?" About as much as I like your face. Because Jason will say to you that the Malenko brothers will roll over Sabu and Taz just like that. Like that? Like that? Have a little more. Why don't you, Jason? Don't you understand who your guys are stepping into the ring with? Sabu, the most suicidal, the most homicidal, the most genocidal, death-defying athlete that has ever graced a squared circle. 3 cracked ribs 6 weeks ago, 2 broken fingers 4 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago to this night, Sabu, thrown high up in the air by Chris Benoit, his head driven straight down into the canvas, and his neck that far away from being broken. But Sabu is here tonight to teach the Malenko brothers the meaning of suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying athlete. And then there's the Tasmaniac, who's just like when he was at home on the island. And Grandma Taz would come out and go, hula bula, because they could feel everything that was going down on side of the island, because they knew what was about to happen, because Taz is just like when the storms would come crashing down onto the island, and the winds are coming by, and they're blowing down the huts, and then the mountains start to rumble, and the volcano erupts, and the lava, the molten lava, drips down the side of the mountain. Taz is just like that lava. He's red hot, and he's out of control, and he's headed down that aisle tonight, standing right next to Sabu to show the Malenko brothers exactly what the E in Paulie Dangerously stands for. Extreme.
The Tasmaniac and Sabu have been unleashed on the world-famous Malenko brothers. It's Sabu with Joe, the Tasmaniac with Dean, and all 4 men are set to experience the difference as Dean Malenko gets thrown with his own towel. He who lives by the towel dies by the towel. It is once again wrapped around the throat of the shooter, Dean Malenko, into the arms of the Tasmaniac. T-bone suplex on the shooter, Dean Malenko. And now these 2 masters of destruction turn their efforts on Joe Malenko, who is flapjacked into the canvas. Sabu is wrestling with a neck brace on. Remember, it was just 2 weeks ago tonight, to the evening, that Sabu landed on his head in an ECW death match with Chris Benoit, an injury which would have ended the career of any other professional athlete in football, basketball, baseball, hockey, auto racing. But Sabu is back here tonight. And this one is broken down. It's gotten extreme early as Dean Malenko is choking, trying to choke out the Tasmaniac. And Brother Joe is working over Sabu, thrust right to that throat. The Malenkos are no fools. They've wrestled all over the world. Sabu catches Joe right on the chin. Sabu up and over the top rope on top of Joe Malenko. the ring, it's the Shooter taking over the Tasmaniac. Drop kick to the back of the head. I have never seen that before. Leave it to the Shooter to create offense like nobody else. The man never smiles, never frowns, never grunts, never laughs. He's got ice water going through his veins. Fireman carry. Beautiful move by the Shooter. 2 and 2 count only. Sabu is setting up a table on the outside. Face first into the table goes Joe Malenko. Now Sabu's got a chair. I wouldn't want to be Joe Malenko. 911 holding Joe Malenko in place. Paul Lee cheerleading. Air Sabu over the top and onto the table with that neck injury. What would possess a man with an injured neck to perpetrate a maneuver like that? Why? The Tasmaniac a lot less imaginative with the chair, but equally as effective. But the Shooter is battling back, and these two have no love lost for one another. Gut-wrench suplex by the Tasmaniac. And nobody in this sport can suplex with the Tasmaniac. Nobody on any continent. Face first into the turnbuckle goes the Tasmaniac. Joe Malenko has been watching his ECW tapes. Bad idea. Belly to belly. And Sabu escapes a pile driver, which would have certainly ended this matchup and put Sabu out of this sport. The Shooter now going to the top, looking for a superplex. Now the Tasmaniac underneath Dean Malenko. Sabu going to the top. And Dean Malenko appears to be doomed. Great double team maneuver from the Tasmaniac and Sabu. Tazplex, and the Shooter's planted on his head. 2 and 3. The Tasmaniac and Sabu have defeated the world-famous Malenko. And Jason just kicked Paulie in the back of the head. Here comes 911. 911's got Jason by the throat. 911's got the pit bulls by the throat. Double choke slam. Paulie is going berserk, and all hell is broken loose here in the jam-packed ECW arena. Talk about experiencing the difference. The Pitbulls and Jason are running for their lives. 911 is on their tails. Back in the ring, the Malenkos are working over the Tasmaniac. Here comes the Public Enemy. And now they're working over Sabu, while the Malenkos work over the Tasmaniac. They're stretching him out. Sabu with the moonsault press on the ECW Tag Team Champions. And the Malenkos are still stretching the Tasmaniac. Backflip onto Johnny Grudge. And one for Rocco Rock as well, but Rock brings up the knees. Remember, Sabu's got injured ribs, and the Malenkos are not letting up with the Tasmaniac. No, they're gonna stuff pile drive him. They'll break his neck for sure. And Paulie coming to the aid of Sabu. As much as I hate him, I gotta admit, that was a gutsy move. Attacking Johnny Grudge, but one he may pay for. The Tasmaniac cannot help Paulie and Sabu. The Malenkos have him tied up. Sabu is clutching his neck, which may be broken, and the Public Enemy have brought a table into the ring. What are they gonna do? That's Sabu's deal. The Public Enemy laying out Paulie on that table and pounding away. Oh, he's not moving. Rocco to the top. Oh my God, Rocco Rock has just put Paulie dangerously through a table. And Sabu is dropped throat first on the top turnbuckle, and the Malenkos are trying to break the Tasmaniac. Dean and Joe Malenko are trying to rip the arms right off of the Tasmaniac like it was a rag doll. They're trying to rip those shoulders right out. Paulie dangerously is not moving. He may be gone for good. This may be the last anyone has seen of the Psycho Yuppie, and Sabu's neck, who knows? It may be broken this time. And the Public Enemy is trying to bring another table into the ring. Oh my, Sabu's trying to fight back and he gets dropped once again on that top rope. And they're setting up the table. Sabu valiantly trying to fight off the ECW Tag Team DDT. They want to break his neck. And the Malenkos are making the Tasmaniac watch this. They're setting up Sabu on the table. This is his worst nightmare. Rocco Rock is going to the top. Johnny Grudge is holding him in place. Sabu is trying to get out of the way. And Rocco Rock has just put Sabu through a table. It's his worst nightmare. The Tasmaniac is still being stretched in the corner. No, he's broken free. The Tasmaniac, with almost superhuman strength, has broken free of the Malenkos. He's gone berserk. He's fighting off the Public Enemy, but the damage may have been done. The Tasmaniac, Sabu and Paulie Dangerously have been mugged in effect by the Public Enemy. Paulie Dangerously is clutching his ribs, and never in his entire managerial career has he been beaten like this. And everyone in this sport has taken a crack at Paulie. But he has never been in this kind of pain. Look at his face. The Tasmaniac, who finally found a friend and comrade in arms in Sabu, seems lost. He's alone again, and Sabu suffered his worst nightmare. The man who mastered putting people through tables has been put through one himself by the Public Enemy. The Tasmaniac is beside himself. Sabu suffered the ultimate diss at the hands of the Public Enemy. And Paulie Dangerously may be gone for good. Tonight, here at the ECW Arena, the Public Enemy has committed a capital crime.